morning, guys. Hey, I'm on my way to work, and I was thinking about the videos that I'm going to do, and one of them, I'm going to can potatoes and like carrots and things, and I'm going to do a little bit about why you need to peel them, and I was kind of putting my head around that, and then I thought, you know, it's just really a talk. I could probably do that while I'm driving to work. So, what I wanted to talk about was canning. When you're canning things and the instructions tell you to peel them, why you need to peel them. So there are things that you can peel and don't have to peel. There's certain recipes that will have things like apples that you don't have to peel. Or you can use nectarines in place of peaches and not have to peel them. But the reason is they have smooth skins. The nectarines and the apples have a smooth skin that can be properly cleaned. And when you can them, you're going to cut off the ends where the stem and the flower end, so there really aren't any little crevices. So, and also you would never can them whole. So it has to do with the cellular structure of the fruit or vegetable itself. So most of the recipes where you won't have to can things like apples would be apple wedges or apple slices, where the heat will be able to penetrate the actual fruit. So that's the thing. Now, a lot of people say they don't like to have to peel potatoes, particularly because potatoes will get that milky whites in the water. Well, that's potato starch. And if you think about it, first of all potatoes need to be peeled because the canning recipes are based on the density of the potatoes. And potatoes, regardless of what size, are relatively the same density. So the actual vegetable after it's peeled. The peeling, you know, if you have a little tiny one of those new potatoes versus a russet potato, the peels are very different. Some of them are very thick, some of them are very light, and you can almost scratch it off with just, you know, something rough. So peeling is nature's little jacket. It protects the food or the vegetable from the elements. And one of the elements is heat. So if you have pieces of potatoes, the heat will penetrate based on the density. The heat will penetrate to the center of that piece of food for the proper length of time so that it's processed correctly. If you leave the peel on, the peel will just make a little barrier to the heat, so it will not penetrate fully all the way to the center of the fruit or vegetable, so that it has the proper amount of heat for the proper amount of time to be a safe process. And if you think about it, you can't really just extend the time or judge because you don't know the density of the peel that's on there. Plus, the peels on things like potatoes and carrots and things have all those little tiny nooks and crannies, and especially like in the Pacific Northwest, botulism is in the dirt, and well, it's everywhere, but when it's in the dirt and it gets in those little nooks and crannies, you really can't ensure that you're getting it all off of there without peeling the peel off. So that's that. Plus, people don't like that white in the liquid, but if you're using water, that is actually a wonderful thing because the water, that's potato starch. So if you really want to, you can drain that water off. I've actually just frozen it and then heat it up and use it when you make your bread, because then a lot of recipes will call for potato flakes. You don't have to. You've already got the natural potato starch in the water ready to go, so that's awesome. If you really, really want to, you can put that in a pan and kind of simmer it and get it kind of boiled down a little bit, and then dehydrate that and make your own potato starch to use in place of cornstarch. You could use it in soups. It'll help thicken soups. So the white liquid inside that jar of home canned potatoes is a fabulous byproduct that you do not want to avoid having, because it's like two good uses from one little potato. So it's pretty awesome. But anyway, just remember, if something says to peel it, there's a reason. It's not because they thought to themselves, you know what, we're going to get directions out here on how to can like potatoes and carrots, and hey, let's really mess with those people and make them peel stuff first, because they're not going to like that. So that's not the way it works. They say to peel something when it's imperative that it needs to be peeled. So I'm going to can some potatoes, and I was going to do this video along with it, but I thought, you know what, it's just going to take too long. So my next canning video, when I get back from my vacation, I'm going to can potatoes because they're fabulous, especially if you cut them in little chunks and then you do them like home fries. They're awesome. So anyway, that will be my next potato. But now you know that if it says you got to peel them, you got to peel them. And just be safe, you know? Thanks for watching.